All right, at the 116th running of the Boston Marathon, Derek Kanwischer, I should say, is with us here with Dale Moore. I'm Tom Schultz, and before we run out of time, we'll make sure we get a bunch of these things in. You did bring some props, as you say. One of them here is the official. Let's see, what would you call this? The course map and spectator's guide to the Boston Marathon. So
one of our legendary cities in America, and this is pretty cool. Of course, we can't show you on the radio, but pretty cool because it shows the whole route of where Derek went through, and some pretty historic neighborhoods you were feeling on through. What was that like? I mean, let's start with the beginning. And you show up, and there's how many thousands of people that are all gathered around there, and you have this jersey on, which you brought down here.
Another one of the props. I'm going to look at that. Why don't you talk about that too before you? Yeah.
So you've got this jersey on. Where did that come from, and why were you wearing that?
Well, this is to represent Montana and
baby.
That's right.
Yeah.
Represent the Big Sky Country in Missoula, and I heard a lot of it, and so we're talking a huge crowd all along the way. And from the very start, you start from Athletes Village in Hopkinton, and you got 26.2 miles to go, and it's just tons of excitement, just brewing. You know, you have a couple hours to wait. You know, you get bussed there, and you're lined up in corrals. That's kind of the staggered start, and then you just go. And surprisingly, you know, like things are really efficient. You know, you have plenty of room to maneuver and move around.
What was your first thought that jumped in your head when they said go for your corral? Do you remember what that was?
Well, I was like, it's like this is it, really. I mean, because up until then, you know, it's like I could have wondered, you know, oh, did I train hard enough, or maybe I should have ran a few more miles this day or that day, or get a little more speed work in, but all that was kind of out the window. It's like, well, you know, here I am, this is what I got, so let's do it.
I'm running.
So you know that the heat is much higher than people expected, much higher than any marathon runner wants, so you've got that. What was your strategy in this first half of the race? Did you have any kind of a strategy, or was it just, I'm just going to start running?
Well, I was warned by many people, and this is just as legendary. It's a downhill beginning, pretty steep, and there's no vision profile on there. But the biggest mistake that most people make is they go out too fast, and towards the middle of the race, or maybe towards the end of the race, you know, they lose it. You know, they hit the wall essentially, and they got nothing left.
It's struggling the rest of the way.
The legs turn to rubber, and it's game over. So, but so anyway, I told myself, you know, I must, and I was told by coaches, everyone, to, you know, take it slow, pace yourself, you know, like make this a tactical race. And I did, you know, and I was in a big crowd, you know, so it helped me kind of keep it slow. And my number was 6039. So I was 6,000, so I had that many people in front of me. So
6,000 people in front of me.
You weren't going to pass them all.
No, I wasn't. But the thing that's kind of interesting is I did finish 420th or something.
403rd, it says here, yeah.
Yeah, but so, I mean, that's a lot of people to pass.
Yeah.
And, but anyway, like that beginning part is, you know, just take it slow, like keep my pace. You know, like I started with a couple of wristbands telling me like, oh, I'm going to go for this ambitious time, and if that doesn't work, I'll go for the less ambitious time. Either way, I was going to go under 3 because that was my ultimate goal.
Under 3 hours. Yeah.
And I did, yeah. So, but that bracelet, you know, yeah, I talked to someone afterwards, and she's like, yeah, I saw a few of those bracelets laying on the road. That game plan went right out the window.
So now you're halfway through the race. And did you start to change strategy at all, or that? Because I mean, you know, at some point, I'm halfway there.
Yeah, maybe you can answer that in relation to the question kind of had earlier. It's like, when did you forget you were at the Boston Marathon? You know, to where maybe you're totally in a race strategy, and the whole, you know, historical moment of it kind of went away for you.
It really was a full-on kind of sensory overload the whole way. So, I mean, I'd be misleading anyone if I had said that. I never realized I was there. One thing was just like a survival instinct. Because it was so hot, like I knew if I wanted to finish this and, you know, and do a respectable time, you know, that had to stay hydrated regardless. And there were water stations everywhere, and the crowd was everywhere, and there were cups, and there were oranges, and there were freeze pops, and we joked before the race, it was like, it would be great if they just, you know, opened up the fire hydrants, you know.
And they did.
And they did. So that was a treat, you know. So ran half the race just actually the whole race pretty much soaking wet, but it evaporated right off of you and stuff. And so
back to Dale's question then.
yeah, so the halfway point I started to get pretty tired, and that's about the time you hit the Wellesley half point.
Wellesley College.
Yeah, where you enter something called the Scream Tunnel, which is all this girls' college. They line up and they just scream.
Seriously,
and you hear them from a ways away, and you can't see them because there's a hill in front of you. And it's like, oh my God, I've heard so much about this, and there it is. I hear it, I see it, and it was slightly emotional, you know.
Did it give you some adrenaline?
Oh yeah. So it was perfect timing, and from there I started picking up the pace, and I felt really good with it. Came up to the Newton Hills, which start at mile 17, and the hills, you know, it's getting later in the day, and should be tired.
He's getting higher.
Oh yeah, and you know, people are dropping like flies all over the place. You know, they're starting to walk. You know, and they're, you know, and
So now you're passing people
walking.
they're done.
Well, and that happened as early as mile 4, but it was really happening now. And so, but yeah, just heading up the hills, you know, I just felt really, really inspired, and I was thinking of all the training and, you know, all the work and stuff that I've been doing along the way, and you know, the support I've been getting from my parents and everything. So, yeah, and I was like, you only get to run your first Boston once, you know, and it's like, I'm all the way out here. This is my chance, you know, and I'm just going to keep the legs turning.
You kept it going.
You actually picked up the pace.
I did. My fastest splits, among my fastest splits, were on the hills going up. So,
Really?
Oh yeah, and at the base of the college, and I was totally in for the full experience. I was slapping hands with all the kids and the crowd everywhere, and mentioning the jersey is wearing Missoula, Montana is, people would cheer indiscriminately, but if you're wearing this Montana jersey, people are like, go Montana, you know.
Oh, great.
And I also have my name written on my arm, and you know, first couple of times people yelled out Derek. It's like, whoa, does someone know me?
Yeah, right, yeah. I'm in Boston,
right, I have it.
everybody knows me here.
I put my name on there, yeah.
Hey, before we go, we got 2 minutes left here.
Yeah.
You're at mile 20, Heartbreak Hill, then you get up to Boston College. Maybe you can take us down that last part and finish when you see the finish line. What's rolling through your mind?
Oh man, my legs, my quads are just burning, and that's the part where they say like the first half of the run is physical, like the physical preparation that you've done and stuff. The second half is mental. That's where your mind, your determination, and all these promises that you made to yourself, where they need to come through and pull you through, and that's really what it was. And man, it wasn't easy. So, but incredible, because the crowds really just pull you along, and man, what a race! What an environment to run in, and just the history of the legacy of the whole race. 116 years, my God.
Yeah, yeah, and historical and all the heat. When you cross that finish line, then
it was phenomenal. It really was, and but it became comedic. I mean, like everyone was just kind of a walking dead, you know, being corralled through the end, and but it was just exhilarating.
Did you have some family and friends at the end to meet you?
I didn't. I later met up with some people, but I got to talk with all these runners, you know, afterwards, and talk about race. I went in for a post-race massage right away, and since I was towards the front, I didn't have to wait in line. It was great. So.
Well, we're out of time, man. And that's so much fun to have you be on the show and
you don't
take
get
us
to meet
through
many
that.
people that do this.
I know.
Yeah,
it is, and you know, congratulations on that. That's it's quite a feet. Are you running in Run Wild Missoula? Oh, there's the medal. Yeah, let's another prop here. It says Boston Athletic Association. It's got a unicorn on it, 2012 for the 116th, and name and time. It's not stamped on there yet.
Yeah, you got to fill that in.
Yeah.
Forthcoming. So.
Yeah. Hey, congratulations. That's. Are you doing it again?
We'll see. At the finish line, it's like, never again. But you know, give it a couple of days. And
all right. Hey, we're done. Derek, thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Dale Moore, I'm Tom Schultz. See you guys next week for more of Curly's Coaches.